plans for you moving forward? You mentioned potentially dropping new
Mhm.
music.
Yeah.
What can we expect?
Yeah.
When can we expect it? If
Yeah.
you can give us a date or
Yeah,
a
so
time gauge.
I actually just performed yesterday in Austin a song called I'm Her. That's what I'm planning to drop next, is my next single.
Okay.
I'm thinking, honestly, in like a couple months here, I'm ready to drop it. I just recorded it a couple weeks ago here in Houston, so that's probably what to expect. It's just a vibe, a little bop for like the ladies to get, you know,
Okay, we need that.
feel
We need
themselves,
we
like,
need the vibes.
yeah,
We
the
need
confidence
vibes.
and the, yeah, all that.
All
I definitely
right.
want to be that. And
So, I just want to talk a little bit about where you come from
Mhm.
and how it's been. I know it's, you know, we on the outside looking in, we never see the hustle.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's something different. How
Yeah.
has this experience been for you, like from the time that you started up until now?
Wow, so like from the time I started 2017, I started taking it serious. Actually, my first time in the studio, I was in 4th grade, and my uncle just did a little in-house studio in his basement. I went down there, recorded a song I came up with, whatever, and I was like, I couldn't get my second verse. And he splashed water on my hand, and he was like, you feel that? I was like, yeah. He was like, you'll know. He's like, you knew you felt it. He said, when you feel it, you'll know. So I called him up, 2017. This was like from 4th grade. I hadn't done anything all those years. Called him up. I was like, hey, 314. I was like, I'm ready. He's like, all right. So I went and recorded, and I was like, all right, she got something. Like, and so we just started from there, like making more connections. I got linked in with my other uncle, Jimmy B, in Houston. He's a jazz artist. Got linked up with him, and then he introduced me to Eddie and like the producers, and so that's when we just started to like grow it.
It just went,
Yeah.
went up from there.
And I was always shy to do it. I always felt like, because I came from a smaller town, so those things weren't too popular to do, you know, singing and stuff. It's like, yeah, like as a kid, most of us wanted to be pop stars as a kid, but the fact that I was still in high school and I'm like, okay, I still have these dreams, they're not going away, maybe I should listen. And so that's when I started to dive into it and just let it out and just realize, like, okay, I'm going to do this.
So I'm glad that you're honing into your craft.
Mm-hmm.
You speak about being from a small town and traveling to these larger cities,
Mm-hmm.
especially cities in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the love is different. There's mad love in other areas that you probably don't get back home. How has that experience been for you? Just people tuning into your music and actually tapping in with you?
Yeah, it's honestly, like you said, like usually, you know, when you're around something, sometimes light has to be further away for it to be seen. So I think that's kind of what's going to happen, because when I am in these environments, bigger cities, around creatives, I feel understood. And I feel like home almost, in a way that it's really odd, but it's like we were talking, and it's like you can see like a creative vision, and then somebody can also see that, and then they're like, yeah, like this, and it's like, yes, that's what I was trying to say, like without even necessarily having to put the words to it. People can just understand your flow, and so it feels really good to be understood, especially as an artist, because there's a lot of things that we like to express, and it feels lonely when you're the only one like who sees certain things. And
Or
so,
understands it.
yeah, and or like able to even create it. So it's like when you're around people that's just throwing in all these dimes, it's like, ooh, yes, and it's just like I love my mind to be fed. So to be around that is what I look for. So I love the big
That's
cities.
beautiful.
Definitely.
It's very encouraging to hear you talk about your experiences and where you see yourself headed. What is the most motivating thing that has happened to you throughout this process?
Honestly, the most motivating thing I would say is the pain, I would say, honestly, because when I was going through some things, it made me really realize like what I turned to, and it was music. It was like to get out of my head and stuff. That's what I did. I would just record and I put on a beat and just like lock in. And so it really made me realize the passion that I had for it, because everything that I lost, and literally it felt like everything, that was the thing that remained. And that passion was still the thing that was there. And so I like had a whole new respect for it after I went through that, because I was like, this is the thing that was still there. And so it made me realize, like, I'm gonna go hard behind it.